Hi guys, it's Julie. Welcome back to my wonderful BC life. I'm back today with a very personal vlog. Now, I don't know how many of you are going to watch it because some people prefer the shopping hauls type of videos, and I understand that. But for me, this is a video that I felt that I had to make, and it's a very important one, I think. So what this video is all about is that I know that I need to go on a weight loss journey. I've been watching on my YouTube channels the two of the people who I follow. One is Lori from My Crazy Life, and she's down in Ohio. The other one is Missy from All Things Missy. Hi, Missy. I know Missy follows me, or I'd say hi to Lori too, but I know she doesn't actually follow me. But anyway, they both went on very fantastic weight loss journeys over the last year or so. Now, Lori is doing it one way. She's diabetic, so her doctor put her on, I'm not sure if it was Wegovy. It wasn't Ozempic, but it was one of those weight loss drugs that's also a diabetic drug. And she has lost a lot of weight. I can't remember how much she's down, but it's a lot. And I know that she's also watching what she's eating and all that too. So like I say, it's so fascinating to see the transformation of someone when they're doing this. The other person, like I said, is Missy. And Missy has been on this journey this past year, and she did a video recently, which I'm sure you've all seen, or pretty much all of you have seen, because I'm sure most of you follow her as well. I watched her video and I sat there with tears in my eyes. I'm like, part of me was sad for what she had been through. You know, she hit what I call a brick wall where she knew she had to get the weight off. And part of me was so happy that she had done what she had done, that she had gotten through all of this, that she had found the strength and determination to do what she needed to do to get that weight off. And she used diet, she used exercise, she was doing one meal a day. And like I say, watching everything she ate. I know she ate a lot of salad. She used to say that she would have salad every night, but she would make them really interesting salads. You could tell when you watch them that she put a lot of good stuff in them. But anyway, she lost so much weight. And honestly, I'm going to speak right here to you now, Missy. You look absolutely fantastic. Just fantastic. And it's not even just the weight loss, although certainly that's a huge part of it, but it's the happiness and the joy that you can see that you now have, that there's almost a glow about you, that, you know, you just look happier, healthier, you know, just fantastic. I couldn't be more proud of you. And like I say, I am publicly saying congratulations to you because I know how hard it is. Now, having said that, knowing how hard it is, this is where I'm going to reflect back on something that I went through before, which I need to do again, unfortunately. But Dave and I moved out here to BC in 2019. And when we moved here, we were both pretty heavy. Now, at the time, we didn't have a doctor. When we first moved here, you know, it's hard to find a doctor. And I'm not sure at what point it was that I went to a walk-in clinic for something, probably a urinary tract infection because I'm famous for those. But I went to the doctor, and when I was there at the clinic, the doctor said to me, would you like to come in for an interview? And you could have blown me away. I'm like, what, an interview to become a patient? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I never thought that would happen. I was just so lucky that day. So I said, certainly. So I came in for an interview, and he accepted me on as a patient. And while I was there, I said to him, would you be able to take my husband on as well? And he said, sure. And he handed me a piece of paper to take up to the girl at the front and get Dave an appointment for an interview too. So now we both had a doctor, and we both went in for, you know, he sends you for the whole bunch of tests that, you know, all the blood work and all that stuff. He sends you for all of that, checking to see what is going on with you so he can get a better idea where your body is at. And this is where I know I was very upset and shocked to find out that I was pre-diabetic at the time. And Dave, he wasn't pre-diabetic, but he found out that he had, and I'm sure there's more of a technical term for it, but he found out at the time that he had fatty liver disease. So now we're both staring something in the face, some sort of a health problem that we know is serious. So this sort of, made us come to the realization that we've got to get our lives back. We've got to get our health back. So because he wasn't working at this point, we had time to do it together. And the first thing we did was we started intermittent fasting, and we would only eat usually close to noon hour. We would have some sort of a breakfast type of thing. And then we would have supper, and then after supper, nothing. That's the way we did it. Now, we did have a cheat day on Saturdays because Saturday is movie night, and I love my popcorn. I cannot go to a movie theater and sit there and not eat popcorn. It would absolutely kill me. But anyway, we would have cheat day on the weekend, and, maybe we'd have an ice cream or something. We would cheat a bit on the weekends. But nonetheless, we were very strict during the week, and we were exercising like mad fiends. We would go out and walk at least twice a day usually, and we had a goal that I would keep track on the app on my phone, that we would get in 20,000 steps a day. It started off, it was only 10,000, and at that time 10,000 felt like a lot. And then you started realizing, well, I think we can do more than this, and that was when we went up to 20,000 steps a day. And this walking wasn't just always a casual walk situation. What we would do was we would go hiking and stuff. So we're hiking up, steep hills, mountains, you name it. We'd go to Whistler, we'd hike up the top of the mountains, well, not to hike all the way up. We did try that once, and that's a whole other story. They have an actual hike that you can take in Whistler, where you start off down in the village, and you can hike all the way up to the top of the mountain. And it's got Little Burn, Big Burn, and Heartburn is the top one. Well, I probably shouldn't go into this, but it is a funny story. We decided to try it, and we got through Little Burn okay. That one wasn't too bad. But once you got into the second part, Big Burn, it was getting quite difficult. And at the time, we were being attacked by bugs. Normally, I don't have a problem with bugs in Whistler, but for some reason, when you get on the mountains, that seems to be where all the bugs are. And we were being attacked by bugs. I was having a hard time climbing it because it was getting quite steep. And so we didn't end up doing Heartburn, because I think I probably would have had a heart attack. Because I'm just, as much as I was in fairly good shape at that point, it was still more than I could handle. Let's face it, I'm not any spring chick here. So anyway, I thought that was funny. But when you can go up onto the mountain top, and then you can hike around up there, and there are still plenty of steep hills even up there, and we used to do that. So we had some pretty major hikes up on top of the mountain. But anyway, like I say, we're hiking, we're walking all the time. We were really pushing ourselves. And because of that, Dave lost a lot of weight. I forget how much he lost. He didn't lose quite as much as me because I had more to lose than he did. But I know I lost over 60 pounds. I forget the exact number. And so I was so excited about that. I felt so much better. My aches and pains, just like Missy's did, my aches and pains went away. My back wasn't bothering me anymore. I was able to, do all of this and not feel so winded and so, just tired and everything from it. I felt so much better. And I went from a size 2X down to I'd say a good solid 16 seemed to be where I was at. I actually had some shorts that were a 14, and that's unbelievable for me. I probably still needed to lose maybe another 20 pounds to get right down to where I needed to be, but I was close at this point, very close. And I will be inserting pictures where I will be showing before and after pictures of what I looked like before and after I did that weight loss, so you get a pretty good idea. So anyway, what happens after this was COVID hit, which was good for the hiking, but then Dave went to work full time. So now I've lost my hiking buddy. I'm now on my own, and now I've lost all the inspiration for doing the type of hiking I was doing before because I don't have anybody to do it with. And there aren't too many, let's be honest, there aren't too many women in my age group that would want to do something as hard as what I needed to do and wanted to do. I did have one friend who, I don't even want to go into the subject of what happened to her because I don't even know what the hell happened to her. But anyway, she disappeared, and she was going out for just walks with me. And her walks were never difficult walks. They were never far walks. So even though I would go out with her, it wasn't the equivalent of what Dave and I had been doing. It wasn't enough for me to continue to do what I had been doing. So anyway, as time went on, I found that I was starting to put on a bit more weight here and there, and it just like gradually comes back on. So now I am where I am, which I don't know if I'm quite as heavy as I was before, but I'm probably not that far from it. I would say, going by my clothing sizes, that usually on average I would say I take a 1X. And I do have tops like this one that I'm wearing, this sweater right now. This is only a large, but it's obviously a pretty big large, right? It's definitely bigger than normal large, so I'm able to wear it. But I've got anywhere from large to, I've got some tops that are 2X, so it sort of runs the gamut depending on the top and, who makes it and how big they make it. But nonetheless, I know that I have to get the weight off. So now, here's what I have to do now. I have to accept the fact that I don't have a walking partner, at least not during the week anyway. On the weekend, we can start walking more. But I have to get my butt in gear and start doing what I know how to do and I know I have to do. So I started on January the 1st going down to 1 meal a day. Now, I do have breakfast when Dave has it on the weekends, but during the week, it's 1 meal a day. That's all I have. And although I've been really bad with the sugar, as you know, if you're watching my videos, I've been buying way too many sweets. But I am now trying to cut that back. I'm going to try and, if I want to have something sweet, maybe have a piece of fruit or some yogurt. Have that sort of thing. But bear in mind, those things still have sugar in them too. So you still have to watch it. Sometimes I think, for me, I haven't actually done this as a general rule, but I think it actually might not be a bad idea, is if I have a craving for something sweet, maybe I should have like just a bowl of Werther's Originals. And if I'm craving something sweet, just grab one Werther's Original. I think they even have sugar-free ones. Do they have sugar-free ones? They might. Anyway, go grab one. And because it lasts a little while you suck on it, that it would hopefully, solve the problem of wanting something sweet. But I don't know yet. I don't know for sure if I'm doing that. But regardless, I've got to get out and start walking. So my goal is, and I've got my phone set up for it, 20,000 steps a day. Now, the last couple of days, I did do some really long walks. I didn't realize my phone, that the app wasn't telling me how many that I was walking. It wasn't counting my steps at all. And I was so disappointed yesterday because I was out walking for about 2.5 hours. It didn't show anything. And I'm like, oh, geez. I really needed to know how many steps I walked. But I've got that rectified now, so it is counting my steps. So now I have to go every day. I'm hopefully not going to find too many rainy days for a while, although there are some in the forecast. Hopefully they don't rain all day at least. And then I have to get out there and stick to my guns, get those 20,000 steps in. And like I say, between that and the 1 meal a day and trying to now, wean that sugar back down, hopefully I can get my weight down. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be giving updates. So you are holding me accountable. All of you are going to know whether or not I'm sticking to my guns and how I'm doing. I will show you I will try and do screen caps of my app where it will show how many steps I'm walking each day. And I will show you that. And I haven't stepped on the scale yet. I honestly dread the idea. But I plan to on Friday. I think it'll be a once a week step on the scale on Friday. On Friday, I think I will step on the scale and I will see, as painful as it's going to be, what the scale says. So then I will do, like I say, every Friday, step on the scale, see if I've made any progress. Hopefully I make a bit at a time. As it is now, I don't know if I've lost some weight, but I think maybe I have lost a bit. Sometimes, of course, I have days when my face is puffy. Today it doesn't look particularly puffy, but, hopefully that starts to look better. That's one way I can judge a little bit. But it's funny because I wear the same pants. At this time of the year when I'm wearing long pants, I have 3 pair of pants, and they're all the exact same pants. I bought them at Costco, and I love these pants. They're a black stretchy pants. They got a flared leg on them, and I absolutely love these pants. So this is all at this time of the year that I'm wearing is these same pants. And I thought this past week or so, maybe it was my imagination, but I thought maybe they seemed a little bit baggier in the legs. See, when it's a stretchy pant, even if you gain weight, it's going to stretch out with you. And even if you lose the weight, because it's stretchy, it can stretch back. But with the legs aspect of it, I think maybe there's been some improvement, just a little wee bit. So anyway, starting Friday, I start stepping on the scale, and I have to get my 20,000 steps in, and that is what I have to go do right now. And when I'm done my walk, I will put at the end of this video a screen cap of my app, and you will see how far I have walked today. I've already walked over 4,000 steps to get to where I'm at now, and I'm about to go up a very steep set of stairs. And if that weren't enough, the city streets up above here are still going up. So this part here is very difficult. I've done it many times, but I certainly haven't done it lately, and it's always hard for me to do, even at the best of times. But I'm going to hang in there and try and do it anyway, and I will show you what it is I'm looking at. This first part here go up these steps, but there are a bunch of others beyond them. You can see how many stairs there are there. And like I say, even once I get to the top of that, I'm already going to be winded at that point. But the city streets go up further, so I will be even more winded at that point. But anyway, here goes nothing. Almost there. So I made it up there. As I told you, I'm winded. I knew I would be. But anyway, if you look now, you'll see that this street goes up, and then when I turn the corner, it still goes up even further. You see that that's an angle up, and the next street's going to go up to an angle. So I'll be up where those houses are. So, yeah, I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm just catching my breath for a moment. But anyway, it's time to carry on. Well, I made it all the way up to the top. As you can tell, my throat is really dry. I do have a bottle of water, and as soon as I get to my destination, I should be able to sit down. Hopefully, if there's nobody on the bench, and I will be able to sit and drink my water. But anyway, I'm going to continue on now to get to my destination. Now I'm walking into the park area at Lindley Valley. This area is one of my happy places. I just love walking around up here. There are numerous different ponds, and you get to see the wildlife. I just love it up here. And wish I had a house up here, but sadly I do not. A view of the pond. See if there's any ducks and geese here today. There were the other day when Dave and I were here. Here is my current destination. Looks like we got some little feathered friends over here. I thought there would be. There usually is at this time of the year. Let's look over here. Got a little bit of a dam happening here. I don't think the beavers are behind this one though. Wouldn't surprise me if they were though. And we have some ducks. I don't see any geese today, but we've got some ducks, some mallards. There they are. A couple more over here. And now, my destination, where I'm going to have my bottle of water. The bench, which they really should put more benches along here. They've got plenty of room for them, and yet there's only one. Hopefully somebody will see this video and get the hint. I'm almost at 6,000 steps now. I guess I have to continue on. I've got a lot more steps to get in today if I'm ever going to hit that 20,000 mark. So I've had my water, time to carry on. This is the second pond that I'm at now. And if you look, you can see that there's a beaver hutch right there. I haven't seen the beaver in this pond, but obviously they're here some of the time. I have seen them in some of the other ponds though. Anyway, on we go. Now I'm going to head down this trail just a little ways to go to a third pond. Down this way. Now I'm at a third pond. You can hear woodpeckers up in the trees. Can anybody else hear those woodpeckers? There's, I think, at least 2 or 3 of them in different spots. Right there was one. Fluffy? Here we are at another pond. Lindley Valley has so many ponds and so much wildlife. That's why I'd love to live up here. Almost as much as I'd love to live down at the ocean, but I just love the amount of things that you see here too. Now I'm about to walk through Lindley Point Gyro Park. This is the main part of the park. Got your basketball court over there, little family shelter over here, and the children's playground is over here. Many times in the past we've seen deer in here, but lately they've been building up so much housing that I haven't seen any. I assume that they still come around once in a while, but they used to be here all the time. Another view of the park. Some people over there walking their dogs. And the last pond on our visit will be over here. So here's another pond in the main part of the park. And I know we've seen beaver in this one before. And there are other ponds in Lindley Valley. A lot of them, well, some of them are further away. There is one that's not that far from here, but I don't know if I'm going in that direction. But you can see that there are a lot of nice ponds here. And you get to see the wildlife when you come here to visit them. That's why I love coming here so much. I love viewing wildlife. They have a lovely view of the ocean from this area. As you can see, it's just over there. You can see the islands. So nice. Just beautiful. Well, it's Friday. Oh, what a week it's been. I have been pushing myself so hard. You would not believe. Every day I go out and I'm walking for hours, and I'm not exaggerating. I have been walking probably most days, at least 2 hours for sure every day. And on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I guarantee you I was walking for at least 3 hours each day. And we're not just talking flat walking. Nanaimo is like this. So I'm up and down, oh my God. And you saw what I went through when I went up the stairs on Wednesday. Oh my gosh, those stairs, they'll be the death of me yet. But I'm determined that I will still do them. I did not do them on Thursday, even though I did the same route. I thought, I'm not going to make myself do that 2 days in a row. I knew I still had to go up a hill though. See, my Wednesday numbers, which I'll be showing you my numbers, my Wednesday numbers, I don't know what happened. I knew when I did that walk that I walked further than what the app said I did, because I have a pretty good idea of distance. You know, we've done this many times before where we've kept track of how many steps we took. I knew that it wasn't accurate. And to prove it, on Thursday, I did the same hike. I walked from all the way down to the same place, and the only difference was on Wednesday, I went straight down and went up the stairs and up the Killer Hill. Well, on Thursday, I didn't go all the way down to where the stairs were. I went up the street that goes up this way. And it's a hill too, but not as brutal as those stairs, because those are killer. They wind me, as you could see, every single time. But anyway, you get to the entrance to the park much quicker when you go up the hill rather than up the stairs and then up the hill. So, if anything, Wednesday's number should have been longer because it took longer to go up the stairs and go that way than it did the other way. And the only other difference in the walk at all was when I left the park on Wednesday, I walked to where Dave works, and on Thursday, I walked home. But time-wise, there's not much difference between the two. It took me 35 minutes to get to where he works, and it would have taken me about 35 minutes to walk home. So I don't know why. Like I say, I must not have had any reception at some point when I was walking on Wednesday, so it wasn't always counting my steps. But I did do around the same number of steps on Wednesday. So anyway, I did pretty good. Now, also today was the much dreaded, oh my gosh, weigh-in day. And as we know, I have not stepped on a scale in a long, long time. I'm going to guess probably at least a couple of years. And it's probably not a good thing that I did, because it's like, oh man, that's exactly what I didn't want to see. It's like I literally gained back everything that I had lost last time. And if you will see in my pictures before and after, you will see how slim I got, even though I still needed to lose a little bit more. I was looking pretty damn good. I was, like I say, within 20 pounds probably of where I wanted to be. So anyway, we're back to the drawing board, and we've got to keep pushing ourselves. And I'm going to use my channel here to, you know, show you guys what I'm accomplishing as I go, giving updates and, you know, letting you see how many steps I do each day. You know, hopefully we don't get too many rainy days that stop me at this point. You know, if all else fails, I can always go on the exercise bike, but I'm not as big a fan of the bike. I wish I had a treadmill. We used to have a treadmill when we were in Ontario, and I used to love the treadmill. I used to go on that thing all the time, and yeah, I really pushed myself hard on that too. But anyway, we don't have one, so for now it's just the bike if it's not a good day to walk. But anyway, that's my video for today, and like I say, I'll be doing frequent updates. So I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you joined my YouTube family and hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell and set it to all so you don't miss any of my videos. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that you're healthy and happy. I would like to thank you for joining me today. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bonus here, AJ.
Yeah.
You guys see the CO2 in this course.
Just